Hi guys, welcome to Chidre's Tech Tutorials educational YouTube channel. If you scroll down, you find web design and development tutorial section. In web design and development tutorial section, if you scroll to the right side, you find Bootstrap 5 tutorials playlist. If you click on view full playlist, you find all my Bootstrap tutorials where I'm explaining Bootstrap in depth and step by step guys. In the previous videos, we understood responsive breakpoints in Bootstrap. We understood the meaning of XS, SM, MD, LG, XL, XXL. Then we understood Bootstrap containers. We understood that to design section of a web page or entire layout of a web page, we take help of Bootstrap containers. To add containers to a web page, we use either container fluid class or container class, right? We understood that container is a collection of rows. We understood how to add rows to a container. We understood to add rows to a container, we take help of Bootstrap row class. We also understood that row is a collection of columns. In this video, we are going to understand how to add columns to a row. To add columns to a row, we take help of Bootstrap call class guys. You can see I have a div which is a container. Inside that I have a div which is a row. In the row, we are adding a column using a call class. Let me copy this code. Okay, I'm going to copy this code and then I go to my code here. I am going to delete this below two rows. Okay, I delete these two rows. Here I have a row and in this row I am adding a column, and you can see we have a div and it's going to have a border info. That means it is going to have a cyan color border, and you can see I'm using the call class, so it is used to create a column. Okay, and the text is div1. If I save this, go to the browser and reload my page, you can see that we have div1 which is occupying entire width of the row. So 100% width it is going to have guys. Okay, we can add one more column. I'm going to copy this and paste down simply. Here I say div2. Now what happens? The first div1 is going to have 50% width of the row and div2 is going to have 50% width of the row. If I save this, go to browser and reload, you can see that div1 is taking 50% width of the row and div2 is taking 50% width of the row. So if I want, I can add two more divs here, copy and paste. This one I can say div3 and div4. So now we have four columns. So each div is going to take 25% width of the row, correct or not? If I save, go to browser and reload. So 25 plus 25, 50, 50 plus 25, 75, 75 plus 25 is 100. So that is how our columns are created in the row guys. Understanding? Remember that Bootstrap follows 12 column grid system. Bootstrap follows 12 column grid system, that is each row is divided into 12 columns guys. Okay, our rows in our containers, they are divided into 12 columns. Okay, if you want, you can explicitly set how many columns an HTML element must span in a row. If you want, you can definitely specify how many columns an HTML element should span in a row by following this syntax. You just write the call as usual, after that dash, and you mention number of columns to span. Number of columns to span. You can see here I am using call -1. That means this div is going to occupy one column. This div is going to occupy one column. Okay, let me go back here. So if I say here call -1, call -1, call -1, call -1. So each div is going to span only one column. Okay, if I save here, go to browser and reload, you can see four columns are occupied. We have still 8 columns. So if I want, I can add more columns. I'm going to copy this, paste. Okay, let's say here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I save this, go to browser and reload, you see we have 12 columns. That means in each column we have one element. In each column we have one element. And remember that, okay? And remember that sum of call spans in a row must add up to 12. If it exceeds, then HTML elements are pushed down guys. When you do sum of call spans, it should add up to 12. If it exceeds, then HTML elements are pushed down. That means You can see here we have total 12 divs. So if we do sum of call spans, it will be 12, right? If I add one more column, let's say one more div I will add here, div 13. Now what happens? It is 13, right? Sum of call spans is 13. Definitely this div is pushed down, guys. If I save, go to browser and reload, you can see div 13 is pushed down because each row is divided into 12 columns. Okay, 13th element you can see automatically pushed down. So that you should understand here. Sum of call spans in a row must add up to 12. If it exceeds, then HTML elements are pushed down. So if I add one more div, let me copy this and paste down. If I say here div 14, okay, save, go to browser and reload. See, it is here in the second column, right? That you should understand. Let me go back to my code. I delete all these things from here. Okay, if you want, you can directly say like this: div 1 should span 12 columns. I save, go to browser and reload. You see, it is spanning 12 columns. I copy this and paste down. Let's say div 1 should span 6 columns, div 2 should span 6 columns. If I save, go to browser and reload, you can see exactly div 1 is occupying 6 columns and div 2 is occupying 6 columns. If I copy this and paste down, let's say I want one more div, then I say here 4 4 4. I save, go to browser and reload. 4 4 4. If you do sum, it will be 12. If you add one more div, let's say, okay, then it is exceeding, right? Here 12 plus 4 is 16. So this div is pushed next line, guys. If I save, go to browser and reload, you see div 4 is on the next line here. Understanding? So sum of call spans should be 12. So I am going to delete this. If you want four columns, let's say, then definitely you should change 3 3 3 3 call span. I save, go to browser and reload. Again div 4 is back on the row. Understanding? So you can define the number of columns an HTML element should span by specifying here number of columns to span. Understanding? Now let's say I say here 1 2 3 4, not 4, here 2 3 4. Let's say 1 1 1. I'm going to copy this, paste down. Let's have 12 columns: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. I save it, go to browser and reload. You see we have 12 columns, 12 elements in a row. I'm going to copy this div and paste down. This time I delete this. I am telling div 1 should span 4 columns and div 2 should span 8 columns. So if I save, go to browser and reload, you see div 1 is spanned 4 columns and div 2 span 8 columns. You see that. So you can specify how many columns an HTML element should span in a row. I hope you guys are clearly understanding what I am explaining here. Next, using responsive breakpoints, we can control how many columns an HTML element should span in different devices of different screens, guys. You can definitely define how many columns an HTML element should span in different devices with the help of responsive breakpoints that we have learnt already. We have discussed about XS, SM, MD, LG, XL, XXL, right? See, I go back here to my code and I just change, instead of div, I say here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So it is going to display just numbers in the first row. I save it, go to browser and reload. So you see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So it is 12 columns. Okay, now, and what I do here, I am going to make it container fluid. Okay, I just say this one as container fluid fluid so that it takes the full width. Save, go to browser and reload. You can see now I am going to reduce the size. You can see in an extra small screen device, each div is occupying one column and here first div is occupying 4 column and the second div is occupying 8 column, right? You can see here. Now what is the meaning of just call dash 4 call dash 8? Here we are not using any responsive breakpoint. If you are not using responsive breakpoint, I told you it indicates excess. Excess means in extra small screen device and above. That means in all the devices, this div is going to span 4 columns. This div is going to span 8 columns. Understanding? So you see here these two divs. Observe, div 1 spans 4 column, div 2 spans 8 columns in all the screens, XS, SM, MD, LG, XL. You can see that. You can modify that. I can simply say here call dash SM in small screen device. The div 1 should span 8 columns, and div 2 call dash SM dash 4 columns. If I save this, what happens? What is the meaning of SM? I told you SM indicates small screen device and above. In the extra small screen device, what happens? Div 1 spans 4 columns, div 2 spans 8 columns, whereas in small screen device and above small screen device, div 1 spans 8 columns, div 2 spans 4 columns. That means in the small screen, medium, LG, XL, XSL, in all these devices, definitely you will see div 1 spans 8 column, div 2 spans 4 column. Okay, I'll save it, go to browser and reload. You can see in the extra small screen device 4 and 8, whereas in small screen device div 1 spans 8 columns and div 2 spans 4 columns. In medium screen, in large screen, in extra large screen, same. You can see that only in the extra small screen device div 1 spans 4 and div 2 spans 8 columns, guys. We can override this also. So let's say call dash LG 6, call dash LG 6. So what happens here? The div 1 in extra small screen, it spans 4 column. In small screen and in the medium screen, it spans 8 column. Okay, we are not overriding medium screen here, right? We are only overriding with the small screen. After that, we are directly going to LG, right? So in the SM and MD, our div 1 spans 8 column, whereas in the large screen, extra large screen and XXL, LG means in large screen device and above. In XL, XXL also, it is going to span 6 columns. You see, I save it, go to browser and reload. So you can see div 1 spanning 4 columns. In small screen, it is going to span 8 columns. In medium screen also 8 columns. In large screen, it is going to span 6 columns. You can see div 1 is spanning 6 columns. In large screen as well as extra large screen, it is going to span 6 columns. So you should understand the responsive breakpoints here. Whereas div 2 in the extra small screen, it is going to span 8. In small screen and medium, it is going to span 4. Right? You can see here. In small screen 4. In medium screen also 4. You see now? See 4. Whereas when it comes to large and XL, it is going to span 6 columns. See, large, XL, 6 columns. So that is how we can use the responsive breakpoints to define how many columns an HTML element should span, guys. I hope you guys are clearly understanding. Now you can create a responsive website easily with the help of Bootstrap grid system, guys. I hope you guys have clearly understood. I suggest you people to watch this video again and again. Okay, try to understand everything clearly. I suggest you to try it yourself. Okay, you should experiment, you should type the code and see how it behaves. Okay, for this video tutorial, this much is enough, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button and share with your friends so that everyone will get benefited. In the upcoming video tutorials, we discuss more about Bootstrap in depth and step by step. For more benefits and be up to date, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.